Yeah, great people of Biafra, great people of Africa, we are back again. We are here again. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. We are back to continue where we've stopped. Are you watching on Facebook? Kindly share the video. Are you watching on Twitter? On YouTube? We are no longer on Twitter. Share the video, invite others to join. Wherever you are watching from, we are back, we are live once again. And this time around, we are not going anywhere. We are not going back anywhere. We are here now. We are here now. We will actually use this time to defeat the suppression of the enemy that is against this gospel that we are preaching. Don't forget, if you are joining us back on Facebook, share the video, invite others to join. Wherever you are joining us back from, share the video, invite others to join. On Facebook, on YouTube, click the like button, share the video. Let us proceed one more time, especially those on YouTube. Once you join, kindly share the video, click the like button for the algorithm to also do the sharing. Once you join, click the like button, share the video. So we are going to go straight to our second topic, because I believe that we are done with the first topic, and that first topic was about the corruption charges or corruption petition against Dangote. That's exactly what it was for our first topic. We are done with it. Now our second topic, it's about, we are going to go to our second topic, which is about, which one are we? Okay, we are going to the AU. We are going to the AU. The statement made by the AU in response to the coup in Niger Republic. And I remember I said that statement, we are going to return to what I said on, was it on Sunday, in the broadcast on Sunday, with about the relationship between the Sokoto Caliphate and the Niger Republic. And the reason why they decided to give power to Tinubu and not a Fulani man again. And that is exactly what I have seen with the statement made by the AU, African Union. And we are going to now look into that statement made by the AU. As you are sharing this video, we're going to look into the statement made by AU. Are you on YouTube? Click the like button. The same on Facebook for the algorithm to continue to do the sharing. So there is a statement made by AU, African Union. And then maybe we are going to actually bring up the Abuja Declaration 1989. If time permits us. Because it is part of that. It actually has something to do with AU's statement. Just one moment. Yeah, now let's bring the news from the AU, African Union. Now let me read. Let me see, are we coming out clear? Now let me read. All right. We are clear. We are clear. Let me bring the news. That is the news from the African Union, and that is what I am about to read. From the African Union. This is it. African Union suspends Niger over coup. African Union suspend Niger over coup. Prepares sanctions. African Union is preparing sanctions against the Niger Republic. Johannesburg, August 22, which was yesterday. This news is a news that came out yesterday, August 22, in Johannesburg, South Africa. The African Union has suspended Niger from all its activities following last month's military coup, there and told its members to avoid any action that might legitimize the junta. The coup has caused alarm among Western allies and democratic Africa states who fear it could allow Islamic groups active in the Sahel region to expand their reach and give Russia a foothold to increase its influence. Did you hear that? This is a place where it sounds very, very confusing. This is where it sounds very, very confusing. Let me read it again so that you will understand what I am saying. The African Union AU has suspended Niger from all its activities following last month's military coup. There and told its members to avoid any action that might legitimize the junta. The coup has caused alarm among Western allies and democratic Africa states who fear it could allow Islamist groups active in the Sahel region to expand their reach and give Russia a foothold to increase its influence. Now, when you listen to this news, it sounds anti-Russia news. When you listen to the news, you see a truth. Remember what they always use against Africa, mixing lies with the truth. Then you will get so confused. You will now, once you hear the truth, you will believe that is how it is, and you will start pursuing it. That is exactly what I am seeing here. Mixing of lies with the truth, and it has a very, very bad effect on our people. So that is why we are going to now extract the lies and extract the truth from each other. That's what we are going to do here. Because where I am very, very concerned about, it's about the expansion of the Islamist state. The expansion of Islamic State, because it has been a plan from 1989. If you understand Abuja Declaration of 1989, you will know that it is the truth that they have actually joined with a lie. Now, let me try to see if we will get more people into this program, because look like we are seriously under attack after they drop the frame. Now let us continue to read. Maybe we will understand that. Let me make sure I'll highlight. Make sure to highlight this area, and we'll have to remember this area. This area, we highlight it, where they say the coup has caused alarm among Western allies and democratic Africa states who fear it could allow Islamist groups active in the Sahel region to expand their reach and give Russia a foothold to increase its influence in Africa. To give Russia a foothold to increase his influence in Africa, is Russia an Islamic state? The answer is no. Is Russia an Islamic state? The answer is no. Is there a plan to bring Islamic State all over Sahel region? The answer is yes. So have you now seen the type of truth mixed with lies that they will always tell in order to sell their narratives? Islamic State coming down to the West Africa sub-Saharan region, it is not actually as a result of the Russian making. It is the plan that has been actually ordained since 1989. The meeting took place at Abuja, the capital of Nigeria that you know today. That is where that meeting took place. That is where the meeting took place, at Abuja, the capital you know today. Now, let us go into that news. We are coming back to it. Just highlight those places. Don't forget, because we are coming back to it. Let me just continue reading. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has been trying to negotiate with junta, but say it is ready to send troops into Niger to restore constitutional order if diplomatic effort fail. In a rare sign of progress on Tuesday, ECOWAS mediator Abdulsalam Abubakar, who is a former military leader of Nigeria, said a weekend visit to Niger Republic had been very fruitful, and that he still had hope for a peaceful resolution. Nobody wants to go to war, he told reporter in Abuja after briefing Nigeria Presidential Bola Tinubu on the mission. We started talking. They, the junta, have made their own point. We will get somewhere, hopefully, he said, without giving details. We started talking. They, the junta, have made their own point. We will get somewhere, hopefully, he said, without giving details. The AU Peace and the Security Council said in communique on Tuesday that it had noted ECOWAS' decision to activate standby force and ask the AU Commission to assess the economic, social, and the security implication of deploying such a force. It also said it had asked the AU Commission to compile a list of members of the junta and their supporters for targeted sanctions and the application of individual punitive measure. Now, if they are going to be giving sanction to those who did the coup alone, not the country where the ordinary people are going to suffer, I think it is better. It is better they do it that way, because if you give sanction to the country where ordinary people who are always receiving the good and the bad and ugly, it means that you are not fighting for that democracy in which you say you want to restore. Rather, you are fighting actually to fulfill the wish and the job of the Western hegemony. Now, let us continue. The resolution in Tuesday's statement were adopted at a council meeting held in August 14. It said ECOWAS has already imposed broad sanctions on Niger, which the AU endorsed. The AU endorsed it. No wonder ECOWAS started with intimidation. So all that intimidation was for AU to endorse their move. Now we are getting the point. The AU reiterated calls for the coup leaders to immediately release elected President Bazoum, who has been detained since the coup, and return to their barracks. Wow. Just like that. The junta has resisted pressure to stand down and on Sunday proposed a 3-year timeline to organize election, a plan which ECOWAS rejected. Grave implications. The ECOWAS Parliament, one of the bloc's institutions, is against sending in troops, said All Ndume, a representative from Abuja. Our stand is informed by the grave implications of a military intervention in Niger. There is no alternative to a diplomatic solution, he told journalists in Abuja on Tuesday, following a parliamentary meeting on Niger the night before. Regional leaders have taken a hard line on Niger, trying to show that they meant it when they said coups would no longer be tolerated in the region. Niger's coup is 7th in West Africa and Central Africa since 2020. Wow. Everybody is fighting for their head, though. They don't want military. They don't want to lose the position of their leadership. They don't want to lose it at all. That's why they are fighting this tooth and nail. They are not fighting this for the sake of the benefit of anybody. They are doing this because they are protecting their head, because they know it can happen to them. So they want to use intimidation to stop it. Before we continue reading, let me advise the African leaders. Let me advise the African leaders. A very, very free of charge advice that I am going to give to the African leaders. Because when you look at these things they are trying to assuage, they are trying to protect, they should understand that the only thing that makes this coup justifiable, no one wants to be ruled by military. No one wants to be ruled by military. But the only reason why these things is happening it is because of your corruption. It is because of your bad behavior. It is because of your selfishness. It is because when you go on the top upper echelon, you represent your stomach. You secure the bag for you and your family without remembering there are people whom you gave you the power to go and represent them at the upper echelon. But you are there representing yourself and your stomach. So that is the reason why you will see this coup in Africa across becoming prevalent. Now, because of this, your bad governance, your wickedness, your selfishness, there is no way this coup will not continue. Whether you go to war, it will continue because now you have failed the people. You have failed the people. If you start doing a good governance, if you start caring for the people whom you say that is under democracy, they elected you into the position of power. If you start today to care for them, believe you me, who is going to support military coup? Nobody. As long as your people is behind you, you are covered, you are protected, you are secured. But as long as the people that's supposed to protect you are against you, that's why you see in Niger Republic, people are in support of the military junta. Because the military junta knows that people are going to support them. That's why they took the approach that they have taken. Because you are a bad president to the people. That's it. So when you are trying to act like you want to use force because tomorrow it might be you, that is what you people are telling yourself in the parliament of African Union, in the parliament of ECOWAS. Yeah, it might be you now, Tinubu. It might be you now, Paul de Beer. It might be you now, it might be you now, Museveni. It might be you now. They will be telling themselves, this could be you. That's what they tell themselves. Let us fight it. Join hands together. Let us stop it. Because if you leave these children, they will take all this power from us. Because if we join together, they will know how serious we are. And that is how to stop a revolution. They want to, connive. They want to join force together to stop a revolution. Because that thing the military is started can resolve to a revolution. That is the reason why they don't want freedom for Africa. They don't want any growth. They don't want any change in Africa. That is the reason why including African Union has joined force with them in order to make sure they intimidate the coup leader. But now, on the other hand, it is a double-edged sword, which I am going to now make you to understand it very well. On the other hand, now, White House National Communities, that is not where I was. The country has strategic significance as a base for US and French troops, helping fight Islamic militant group in the region, and as one of the world's biggest producer of uranium. Have you now seen that the reason why this African Union or whatever that is trying to fight this thing is to protect the asset of the West that is found in Niger Republic? Are you paying attention? They said that there is a military base. Why is there a military base? Why can't they make sure they supply the military equipment to Niger soldiers, to all the soldiers that are in that area to fight off these terrorists that they claim that they are fighting? Establishing military bases in people's country. Why are they establishing military bases in people's country? In the name they are fighting terrorists. These terrorists, they don't finish. Is this terrorists they are fighting, is it a country? No. And the people in African Union are in support of other country establishing military base in the name they are fighting terrorists. How many are these terrorists in number? How many are they? Why can't they fight them and stop them? They cannot stop them because they are not there to stop them. They are there to actually promote them, nurture them indirectly. You promote them from the other side and you actually, stopping them from the other side. That is what AU is telling us. The country has strategic significance as a base for US and French troops helping fight Islamist militant group in the region, and as one of the world's biggest producer of uranium. Did you see that? The uranium is the asset they are looking for in that region. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan reiterated call for Bazoum release, said the United States would continue to consult with ECOWAS. They will consult with ECOWAS, just like they have consulted with Ukraine. They are the ones with a very significant stake in this, and we want to make sure that anything we do is closely coordinated with them, Sullivan told reporters. In a telephone briefing, we are working intensively with all of our partners, including with France, to try to ensure the preservation of democracy in Niger Republic. Okay. Algerian state radio said late on Monday that Algeria had refused a French request to fly over its airspace for a military operation in Niger. France denied making any such request. It was not clear what type of operation Algeria referred to. Have you now seen what is going on? Had it been maybe, I'm saying maybe, had Algeria agreed, France may go there and start a war. They may go there and throw a bomb, and then they will respond believing that the ECOWAS have started a war. That is exactly what I am understanding here. That is my perspective. If Algeria had allowed them, they might go there and cause havoc, wreak havoc. Then these people will think, no, it is Nigeria. They will reiterate. They will retaliate, rather. They will retaliate. And from there, war starts. Have you now seen the way these people roll? Let me read it again so that you will not think that my perspective is far from what I just read. Algeria State Radio said late on Monday that Algeria had refused a French request to fly over its airspace for a military operation in Niger. France denied making any such request. It was not clear what type of operation Algeria referred to. Did you hear that? The AU said it strongly rejected any external interference in the situation by any actor or country outside of Africa, including engagements by private military companies. A likely reference of Russia mercenaries group Wagner, which is active in neighboring Mali. Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin has welcomed the coup and on Monday posted a video in which he appeared to be in Africa, promoting Wagner's activities there. Wow. French, and there is a rumor that French are getting some of their power station, or there is a blackout in some areas, in French because of them not having enough uranium. We know that they are getting uranium there, from Kazakhstan. The second place is Niger Republic. Niger Republic. So, um, and we know also Canada, they have uranium. So they should actually buy from Canada. Of course, Canada will give them the real price of uranium. That is the reason why they will not consider those areas. Canada will give them the real price of uranium. They will not consider, or they should buy from Russia. Russia have uranium, but they will sell it the real price. Not like the price they are getting it for free in Africa. That is what makes it different. That is exactly what makes it different. The AU said it strongly rejected any external force. If it will reject any external force, so be it. But the AU, what are they actually going to? What is their intention? What is the intention of AU? If they reject every external force, what is the intention? Okay, let us continue. China's top African diplomat Wu Peng on Tuesday told reporters that only Africans could solve Africans' problem. Only African can solve African problem. How can only Africa solve African problem? You see agitation in Cameroon. AU is not talking about it. You see agitation in Nigeria. AU is not talking about it. You see people dying in Niger Republic of hunger and poverty. Nobody talked about it. But when people take a bold step to actually secure their right, to safeguard themselves, to make sure there is a change in their life, AU and ECOWAS will remember that they have to come in to solve African problem. When people overturn the activities of a president, AU and ECOWAS will remember, no, we have to see this. They are not proactive. They cannot start interfering. When they sit in their AU meeting, it looks like they are praising the worst leaders instead of actually cautioning the worst leaders and the mayhem they are bringing upon the people. That is what it looks like. Then when a problem like this started, when a revolution will start, the AU will say, no, we cannot tolerate this revolution. That is exactly what it looks like you will hear from AU. If ever there will be a revolution anywhere in Africa, you will hear them, they will say, no, we cannot tolerate this thing. Because that is what they are showing us right now. They are not even trying to say what was the reason for this coup to be happening in Africa. I have not heard any of these AU leaders, ECOWAS leaders. What is the reason why? What is the root cause of these coups happening in Africa? So that we will know where we are going to come in to solve it. They are not going there. Where they are going is that they do not want any change that will remove them from the position of leadership in Africa. That is exactly what they are doing. They believe that the position of leadership is meant for them and for them alone. And that is the reason why they do not want any change to occur. They do not want people to wake up from their slumber. They do not want people to actually achieve their independence. And that's what they are believing that they could achieve. AU is compromised. ECOWAS is compromised. All of them, they are all compromised because they are being controlled by the Western hegemony. And we cannot tolerate their activities because you have seen where government will come out, send the army to go and kill people, burn their houses. You will tag AU in Xing it or in tweeting it. You will tag AU, tag every African organization. All of them will act like their Twitter is not working. But whenever you decide to take an approach to help yourself, AU will start having a meeting. African Union, ECOWAS will start having a meeting. is that not evil of these people? You will see that these organizations is supposed to be dissolved because they are not objective. They are not proactive. They are not doing anything that will help people to be free in the African continent. That is the reason why that organization is not standing there for Africans. It is standing there for the West. It is standing there for their own colonizers. Because they are all colonial tools. Are you paying attention? That is the reason why they cannot stand. How can AU? How can you? You don't see the problem. You don't hear about the problem, the struggle. When there is a struggle, you ignore it. When the struggle causes a problem, you will now come in. You can't do it like this. You're supposed to do this. You cannot do it like this. Democracy or democracy. Democracy, where are you? But when the problem that democracy is bringing, the type of democracy that you people promote in Africa, when that problem is actually starting from on a very small, in a very small scale, or in a very low space, you will not try to come in to tackle it. Our people were in South Africa today protesting in front of where the Brics Summit was taking place. Our people were there protesting, speaking with a megaphone, speaking with microphone. No AU. I know that many of the leaders were there. They will see them, but they will act like they never see them. Tomorrow, if people decide to take the law into their hands, then they will come and start telling us, we need to promote the military base in your country. We need to promote the uranium that they are exploiting in your country. Is that not these people sabotaging us? Is it not the time for Africa to rise up and reclaim her inheritance from these people you claim that claim that you place them in the position of power while they are exploiting you, while they are the ones killing you, while they cannot even allow you to speak, while they cannot even allow you to exercise your mandate, while they disenfranchise you. These people are the reason why we are impoverished in Africa. The AU, the ECOWAS, they are the reason why we are impoverished in Africa. If you see leaders who are trying to help their people, their country to grow, you will know. And I give it to the president of South Africa. I give it to president of South Africa. I can assure you, when you see leaders in Africa who want their people to be free, who want their people to actually, who want a better future for their own people, you will know them. Now I will tell you the reason why I give it to President of South Africa. Because by their fruits, you shall know them. There is a Brics Summit that took place in South Africa. Many head of states were there. The world largest, second largest economy president in the likes of Xi Jinping was there, or is still there. The president of Brazil is there. The prime minister of India, the head of state of India, is there. The only thing, the reason why the Russia president could not go there, it is because of the arrest warrant issued by the Roman Statutes, which is the ICC. That is the reason why he was not there. Have you ever called a meeting and the president of the United States attends it in Africa? Have you ever called a meeting and the president of Big World attends? It means that there is something about South Africa. That is the reason why they were able to bring this type of people. This is not the issue of we have African summit to China. We have African summit to Russia. We have African summit to London. We have African summit to US. We have African summit to Netherlands. We have African summit to Japan. This is now inviting the big people, the big shots, to Africa. They come to honor your own invitation. That is to show that there is something there. Number one, before I digress, I am coming back to Brics Summit, and I am going to analyze and break it down, the benefit of that brick block, that acronym of BRICS. I am going to break it down. First of all, let me not deviate from African Union's activities, because the African Union is championing the Western hegemony. African Union is championing the unipolar world. African Union does not want Africa to breathe. That is the reason why African Union will tell you we will not tolerate the coup. But African Union have never for one day said, let us address the costs of this coup in Africa. Let us address the cause of the 1967 war in Nigeria. Let us address the reason why there is armed struggle in Cameroon. Let us address the reason, the poverty in Niger Republic. Let us address, the problem, the hunger and starvation in Congo, the war in Congo. Let us find a way to address these things and put a stop to these wars in Angola, in Mozambique. There are wars across the walls of Africa. African Union will not bring up or come up with an initiative to make sure that there is no war in Africa, to make sure that what is causing this problem is solved. If it is a colonial structure, to help to resolve it and bring African structure. They will not, because they are not created to help to solve the problem of Africa. African Union is there to help to protect the military base of US in Africa. African Union is there to help to promote the French military base, which they will put in your country to secure whatever they are taking out of your country, not to secure you. Because the last time we checked, US, they have advanced technology that can wipe out terrorism in sub-Saharan Africa. The last time I checked, even France, they have the technology, they have satellites. They know where these terrorists are. They know where they plan. They have intelligence. If they want to stop them, they can totally stop them. They will surround them and capture all of them. Not even to kill them, because maybe they will argue that it is going to be, again, it's a human rights violation if we kill all of them. No, if they want to capture them, they have the advanced technology to capture this terrorist. So why aren't they doing it? Why do they need to bring a military base that will be there indefinitely to say they are fighting Islamic State, while on the other hand promoting it so that they will continue to be there to protect their asset which you own, that they have called their own? Somehow, if African Union could make this type of statement, you should know that all of them are the same. All of them are the same. Nobody is different from another. I am quite surprised. I am very, very much surprised for African Union to make such statement. Let me read it again for those of you who are coming in right now. Let me read it again. They say regional leaders have taken a hard line on Niger, trying to show, this is African Union reporting, trying to show that they meant it when they said coups will no longer be tolerated in the region. Niger coup is the seventh in the West and Central Africa since 2020. Now listen to the most significant one as per reason why I go back there. The country has strategic significance as a base for US. Did you hear that? As a base for US and French troops helping fight Islamic militant groups in the region. Not only that, see where it is worrisome. And as one of the world's biggest producer of uranium. So what exactly is that military base there for? They actually shoot themselves on the legs by actually mentioning uranium. One of the biggest producers of uranium, seventh in the world, but their GDP per capita is not up to 600 US dollars. Their GDP per capita is not up to 600 US dollars. But they are telling you that is one of the, the biggest one of the biggest producer of uranium. Who is fooling who here? So their uranium is the reason why this military are there. In the name they are helping them fight Islamic State. Islamic State, are they not Islam? 99.2% of the people in Niger Republic, they are Islam. Are they not the same people? So why can't they solve themselves? Why do you need to bring a military base in the name you are fighting Islamic State? Why do you need to bring a military base in the name you are fighting Islamic State? They know who is Islamic State. They know what is causing it. They can solve it themselves. They should go into the mosque and solve this Islamic problem themselves. So why is there military base? Now let me continue to read. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan reiterated calls for Bazoum release, said the United States would continue to consult with ECOWAS. Like the way, remember, don't forget, the way they are consulting with Ukraine today, they will continue to consult with ECOWAS. Don't forget. They are the ones with a very significant stake in this. And we want to make sure that anything we do is closely coordinated with them, Sullivan. It's closely coordinated with them, Sullivan told reporters in a telephone briefing. We are working intensively with all of our partners, including the France, to try and ensure preservation of democracy. Because that's what they practice in Africa. Maybe in Europe they practice democracy, not in Africa. In Niger, Algerian, listen to this one. What made me so crazy? Because they will deny it. They have denied it. Listen to this one. Algeria State Radio said late on Monday that Algeria had refused a French request to fly over its airspace for a military operation in Niger. France denied making any such request. It was not clear what type of operation Algeria referred to. Now, that operation I said, it is about going there. Maybe it's bombing a strategic place. Then these people will say, no, it is ECOWAS. Of course, they don't have satellite. How will they know which flight that come there? Maybe they will use a flight that is unidentifiable in order to go there. If Algeria allow their alliance or allow the deal, they will go and bomb somewhere. they will go and cause a problem so that they let the fight begin. Because when you come to the mind of US and French today, they want the fight today or tomorrow. They want the fight today to begin in the ECOWAS region because it enables them to supply weapons. Don't forget though, when you are fighting, they are supplying weapons. Their weapon manufacturing company is making profit from both sides. It is not from one side, from both sides. Now your resources is being taken. Maybe it's been taken because some side might not have enough money to be paying. Your resources will be taken to pay for these things. Are you paying attention? So that's how it is. That is the politics that African Union and the ECOWAS group of corrupt individuals will not see that, because it is all about securing their bad governance, securing their position in the leadership as bad governance or bad leaders. It is the only thing. If you ask any African Union member today, they know that the people of Niger Republic is fighting for their own future. They know. But the reason why they want to engage this fight, it is because they will say, no, if we keep quiet, these children, they will now take all this power from us and we will become ordinary people. They might even kill us. That is the only reason why they are doing what they are doing. There is no other. We know. If we keep quiet, these children will have revolution and we will no longer have this power. You know, this power is very, very nice. The power they are talking about, when they carry themselves uninvited to Queen Eliza's funeral, what did they do to them? The same people they are protecting, they loaded them in a bus, right? They loaded all of them inside one bus. Remember that COVID was still there that time. And the American president came with a limousine, with extra security. The tire is bulletproof. The body is bulletproof. The fuel tank is bulletproof. The windows are bulletproof. In fact, I don't even know what else I will say about the vehicle that was transporting one president, but maybe I will say if it is 52 presidents or 54 countries of Africa, let's say 30 presidents went there, all of them in one bus. If there is any plan to eliminate one, all of them are gone. So it means that all of these presidents, one is more important than all of them. They don't learn their lesson. The thing is that these people are being treated like nobody by the same West that they are championing their interest. For you to see how daft black people are. For you to see how wicked. As long as I am securing the bag for my family and myself and my stomach, it doesn't matter how they treat me. If they treated you like that, what made you think they will not treat your people like that? That is what is going to bring us to what the Britain is doing with the refugees. The refugees that are in Britain. And you will ask yourself, the president of Rwanda, who is very vocal about the colonization, who is very vocal about Western manipulation, why then is he going to allow his country to be where they repatriate refugees and load them there? What exactly is going on? They have actually planned to go and jail these refugees in the middle of the sea, floating house in the middle of the sea. They had it as two options. Who are those refugees? You will find out that most of them are blacks, Africans. When these people were running away, they know that there is a place called Rwanda, but they decided to run to UK, United Kingdom. But now they will be forcefully repatriated back to Africa. Now, the reason why they are actually running, it is the same reason people of Niger Republic decided that they want to get their freedom. They don't want this impoverishment and the Western interest being promoted in their country while their interest is undermined. They decided that we have to go through this route. Let us find a way. Let us find a way to safeguard our people and secure the future of our next generation. That is the reason why the people are supporting the coup, not even knowing whether it is going to be the way to lead them to their success or not, because any enemy of your enemy is your friend. But at the end of the day, African Union is rising up to sabotage it. I am going to show you the reason why the coup in Niger and all this coup is a double-edged sword that cuts from both sides. But the African Union and ECOWAS does not have moral ground to come and say the way they are saying. Even if they might be saying something that makes sense at some point, they do not stand a moral ground because they watch all these atrocities happen in the various countries who come to African Union Summit, who come to African Union Parliament without addressing the problem. The only thing they do, they allow the problem to escalate, and they will decide to act like we are coming to solve it. 1967, more than 3.5 million women and children killed in Biafra land by Britain, Nigeria. Did the African Union ever talked about it? The answer is no. Are they not Africa? Why is African Union not talking about it? Because African Union, the leaders there, of course, they are made up of 50 leaders of Africa, 54 leaders of 54 countries in Africa. They are all stools of neo-colonialists. They will never discuss African problem. I don't even know what I will say that they are discussing inside the African Union. But look at it today. You will understand that the Brics that was formed in 2000, Brics was formed more than 10 years ago. When was it? Either 2001 or 2003 that Brics was formed. But Brics, they are doing marvelous things because it is not blacks only. They are doing marvelous things. But African Union has been there for ages. What have they done? What have they achieved in Africa? Have they been able to achieve an open border policy? The answer is no. Have they been achieved to actually make a free trade zone? The answer is no. Did they achieve introducing a currency that Africa will use? The answer is no. What have you achieved, African Union? What have you achieved? You have achieved nothing. You just gather in the expense of your taxpayers. You travel, fly your plane up and down. You go there. You go and represent your family and secure the bag for your stomach. That is exactly what you people are doing. But Brics was formed in 2003. All of you now are running. We want to join. We want to join. We want to join. When it was formed, we didn't see it because you are not visionary. You are not visionary. African leaders, you are our problem. You will hate me for that, but the truth must be spoken. Regardless of who is crying, or who is getting hurt. You are our problem. We are dying in Mediterranean Sea because of African Union. We are dying in Sahara Desert because of African Union. We are impoverished because of African Union, because they are made up of 54 leaders of 54 countries that made up Africa. These people, they are our problem. Now, when we talk about BRICS, and let me say, bring it now to the reason why I told you we are coming back to this to address the Islamic State issue in sub-Saharan. Because like I said, it is a double-edged sword. Let me use one stone and kill two birds. When you talk about BRICS country, when you talk about the acronym called BRICS, rather, you will know that it is an organization that is bringing, together emerging economies, and with second largest economy in the world together, to actually show them and stand in solidarity with each other, and they look towards their interest, foreign policies, and see how they will help each other through financial growth, economic growth, infrastructural development, innovation, industrialization. They are the reason why these people decided to come together. And guess what? Guessing what? It is that they are beginning to achieve what they are set up for. It is not African Union that has been there for ages, but we are not able to achieve peace in any African countries today. All African countries are in chaos, yet African Union is in existence because they are playing I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I don't care is the reason why they will never promote anything good for Africa. Now, Russia or BRICS bloc, which is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Inside that BRICS bloc, there is a moon landing that is taking place today. Are you aware of that? There is a moon landing that is taking place today between the BRICS bloc. And it will not be a long time. You will find out that South Africa will be going to the moon. And Nigeria will be there answering giant of Africa, biggest economy for nothing. Oh. Listen to this news before we go back to the one that we are working with. We are going back here. This is a digression, but it is part of my topic. Let me now bring it together because it is very, very important that we do so. Let me bring it together. Listen to this. It is a sheer technology, sheer innovations. Do you know that Chinese Development Bank has surpassed, is it the World Bank? Chinese Development Bank today has surpassed the IMF or the World Bank, one of them. Now let us read. Listen very attentively. Indian moon landing update. Chandrayaan-3 makes space history. Did you hear that? India. I told you, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, that India is going to the moon. There will be a moon landing where the first female will be landing in the moon. where the first female will be landing in the moon. Listen to this. This blog is now okay. I hope they haven't removed the news. I hope they haven't. Okay. Looks like the news is just about all right, let me say read more. All right, here. These were the update on the Indian lunar landing on Wednesday, August 23. India successfully lands a spacecraft near the moon, South Pole, making it the first country to do so. The first country to do so. And it was with the help of Russia. Are you aware of that? For you to understand that the BRICS bloc is achieving something, it is not organization that people with big stomach will come and sit the whole year. Every year, we're going to African Union Summit, ECOWAS bloc, this and that. ECOWAS was proposing they are going to have a currency, eco currency. Where is it? French is part of the people that sabotaged it. Is it in existence today? No. The answer is no. You will never grow until you start thinking like an African and not thinking like a white man from Europe. A white man from Europe is thinking like a white man from Europe. That's why they are successful. An African man should think like African man and stop promoting the activities of the Europeans because you are not European. Look at it. India successfully lands a spacecraft near the moon's South Pole, making it the first country to do so. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the mission's success belongs to all humanity. I know that's how Indians they talk. You know, belongs to all humanity. Chandrayaan-3 mooncraft in Sanskrit took off from a launch pad in the Sriharikota in southern India on July 14th. Scientists believe the South Pole's uncharted territory could hold important reserves of frozen water and precious elements. In India, people have crowded around television in offices, shops, restaurants, and homes to watch the moon landing live. And that is the truth. Maybe let me show you. Let me see if the video is going to play. Of course, the video will play, but you will not see it correctly. I might not play the volume. This is the video. Are you seeing the spacecraft? Of course, you can see it moving in that blue path. That is the video. Of course, you can see it, right? That was the video. And now you see the Indian Prime Minister. So that is it. They have achieved that. BRICS bloc. Only maybe BRICS bloc is more than 10 years old. But you will never compare it with African Union. They have landed in the moon. India, who is colonized the same way Nigeria was colonized, is landed in the moon. Maybe if Pakistan was not taken away from India, maybe if Bangladesh was not removed from India, maybe they will continuously be fighting themselves without being innovative, without being, without growing. But because they saw their loopholes, it is bringing Indians and Pakistan and Bangladesh. They decided, no, we cannot be together because we are not one people. They decided to say, Pakistan, go your way. And Pakistan later said, Bangladesh, go your way. Pakistan have a nuclear weapon today. It is a technology, regardless of the economic status of the country. The only thing I don't like about them, it is their pedophile lifestyle. That is the only thing I don't like about them. So it is, the thing you should understand is that they decided to go their separate ways. Today, they are doing well in technology. They are doing well in technology. Have you now seen the reason why we are telling Africa, moving away from Nigeria and forming our own nation called Biafra, which was pre-colonialism? It is not because we want to divide anybody. It is because we want to hold our destiny and control it by ourselves. We do not want to continue to be with religious fanatics. Religious fanatics who see you as an infidel. And the reason why Britain decided to bring up the amalgamation 107 years ago, it was because they know that these people and these people will never be together. They will never work together. That is exactly the reason why British amalgamation and the naming of Nigeria in 1914 was said to be, let us experiment oil and water to see if they are going to mix. Unfortunately, oil and water could not mix. They cannot even mix, talk more of getting saturated. If you mix them, no matter how much you shake them, at the end of the day, oil goes down or up, water stays on the other side. They will never mix together. And that is the reason why Nigeria will never grow economically. Because Fulani will say, how I go build good road for Omoibo? Omoibo will say, Omoibo will do it because we are the only people in Nigeria that made it look like there is peace. Because we will go to Yoruba land, we build houses, build mansions, even build everything. They will come to our land, they will be sleeping in a bako. They will be sleeping in shacks. When a Yoruba man come in our land, they don't build. The best thing they will do is to rent. When a Hausa man or Fulani man comes to our land, they live in the bush. Fulani man will live in the bush looking for a prayer. People who are going to farm to pray on. Aboki man will come. The only place they will be is there will be your megad. Or they will do shine your shoe. That's the only thing they do. But a Biafran man will go to Lagos. They will establish business. They will establish business. They will even employ them. The Yorubas employ houses. They will build houses, rent it out to Yoruba house, everybody. But these people, I have never seen Hausa man owning a land, owning a building in Biafra land. It is impossible. Or Fulani man, it is impossible. They will take over a land that doesn't belong to them, build shacks there. That's what they do. They build shacks. Bako, they build it, live there, operating from there. For you to see, it is not togetherness. We are free people. We Biafrans are free people. That's why we have property across Nigeria. But we have come to realization that there is nobody that is actually reciprocating what we are doing. It is all about us. Then they will say, we have come to take their land. That's what they will say. We have come to take their land. After we might have developed that land that is nothing, that was seen to be infertile. We made it fertile. Then they will say, no, we have come to take their land. We have come we have actually taken everything. We need to start taxing people that are not from Lagos. For you to see, we are actually, vocal about preaching that there is nothing like one Nigeria. These people are actually systematically showing us that there is nothing like one Nigeria. Who is more evil? We are saying it. One Nigeria does not work. Disintegration of Nigeria is a blessing to Africa. These people are actually now are actually doing the same by chasing the Igbos from Lagos. Small thing, they will start killing Christians in the northern Nigeria, which are the Igbos or the Biafrans. They will start killing them in the northern Nigeria. So have you now seen we are speaking it, they are acting it. Then because we are vocal about it, it looks like it is only us that want it. Because they know that with us, they are achieving what they could not achieve. They know we are now like a backbone of Nigeria. If we are not, why can't they let us go? Nigeria is not Pan-Africa. Nigeria is not Pan-Africa. So many of you, when they come to this organization, they will tell you, no, this is African division. There is no such. Nigeria is not Pan-Africa. Nigeria is not investing for African development or growth. That rather, Nigeria will come to African Union and bribe everybody that is there to shut up. That's what they do best. It is not a joke. We are more Pan-African than every other person. Think about it. We are more Pan-African than every other African in Africa. We Biafrans. That's why we have our people in Mozambique. They have houses that is their own. We have our people in Angola. They have houses that is their own. We have our people in Kenya. They have houses that is their own and businesses also. We have our people in Benin Republic. They have houses that is their own and the business also. We have our people in South Africa. They have houses that is their own and businesses. We have our people in Cameroon, Ghana. We have our people in Ivory Coast. We have our people in Egypt, Morocco, Algeria. We have our people everywhere in Uganda, in Rwanda, in Guinea. We have our people. Guinea, Conakry, DRC. We have our people even in, Benin Republic, I've called it. We have our people in Gabon. We have our people. And they have homes. So who is Pan-Africa? You don't have any Hausa man in any other place that is not Islam country in Africa where they have property. You don't have them. You don't have them. Maybe you will see few Yorubas who have properties in places like South Africa, maybe. We are more Pan-African than every of these people, but they will give you an excuse. The reason why these people are dividing Africa, they are dividing Africa, that is the reason why they want to secede from Nigeria. You ask them who created Nigeria. How did Nigeria come by? They will not be able to answer you that question. That is the reason why we cannot grow. They will name us Giant of Africa because they give you the largest number. The largest number in Africa, 200 million plus. That's why you are named Giant of Africa, biggest economy. Biggest economy coming from where? Inflation rate is killing all of you. Cost of living is at its peak, nowhere to be found. Inflation that is actually racketeering the whole nation. Your biggest economy. South Africa is the most industrialized economy in Africa. What is their inflation rate today? I was reading it today. What is the inflation rate? What is inflation rate in Nigeria? Inflation rate in Nigeria with the fuel cost, with the fuel price, with this current fuel price, inflation rate in Nigeria, I didn't check it, but I believe it must have surpassed 22. 22, it must have surpassed, I don't know. But the last time we checked, it was in 21 point something, which they will report to the one telling you is 19 or 16. Inflation rate in South Africa is 4.7. 4.7. So what is exactly is happening? The biggest economy, no, the biggest economy from out. Nigeria have the best electric generating system, which is not carbon emission. It is hydro. It is green. And they don't spend a lot. You just need to make it to work, to function properly, because the water, you can reuse it. The water that is actually cycling that thing can be reused. It is not like buying coal or burning fuel or burning gas. No, it is water. It is hydro. The most efficient. But how many kilowatts or megawatts Nigeria is actually generating in a year? How many? It was 4,000. Was it 4,000? They've been generating only 4,000 megawatts. While the household can use, like if you think about each, you will say that 300 to 900 household can use 1,000 megawatts. How many households do you have in Nigeria? You generate 4,000 megawatts per year, and you have increased it, but yet it is not producing the amount, the capacity of the hydro power station that you have. Why? Who is sabotaging it? Because people want to siphon. People want you to buy their generator. People want you to buy, to continuously make noise everywhere, cause noise pollution. People want to sell their market. Nigeria government will have never come to an initiative to say, since we have the best electricity generation, we don't need to go, and they will not tell us to go for greener energy because it is already green. Hydro electricity generator is already green. It is water. It is not emitting any carbon. It is a movement of water that is actually, converted to electric energy. But others in the United States, they are burning fuel. They are burning fossil fuel, like coal. Unlike other European countries. Instead of trying to make sure that the one you are blessed with, has been working in a good order. How many years did you wake up in this world? You have never had a steady electricity for 24 hours in Nigeria. And you believe that after 60 years it is going to change. You are a fool if you believe so. Nigeria is not created to actually promote anybody that is living in it. It is created to promote Britain. That is the reason why today India is going to the moon, while the Nigeria people are still there saying it is my turn to be presidency, my turn. It is my turn. 2023, my turn. And they rig it, they select anybody they want and put in the position of power. African Union will not see it. If eventually now people decide to come with uprising, African Union will say, we cannot tolerate that uprising, we cannot tolerate that revolution. We will tell you people to go to hell if you cannot see what is going on before it escalates. If you cannot see it, it means that all of you does not have a moral ground to interfere when it escalated. If you cannot interfere when it is still something to bring in a round table and solve the matter, you cannot. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted by the court of a competent jurisdiction in Nigeria. Nigeria decided to bring a colonial approach in the name of stay of execution. Whichever country have you ever heard that people are staying in execution after court set them free? Which country? Has it ever happened in your country? You that is a leader of African Union watching me, or any secretary watching me. Have you ever heard it in any of these countries in the world? Stay of execution. Who is staying? Execution of what? That is a colonial law. That is a colonial, how they actually manipulate law in order to make sure that a freedom fighter remain in the cage. Was it not what they did to Robert Sebukwe? They enacted an act called Robert Sebukwe's Act, to make him stay in prison even when he has defeated them in the court. It is a colonial law, manipulated law. Stay of execution. Stay in execution for what? When an act of terrorism, the court to say there is no court that has jurisdiction to try this man, yet you say he's staying in execution. What does that mean? It's flouting the court order. So we don't have any way of means of escape in Nigeria. Not court. Court does not stand in our favor. Nothing stands in our favor. So we are on our own. So as long as African Union have seen that we are on our own, the day we will start doing, trying to protect ourselves because we have been on our own, they should not interfere if they cannot come in now before problem gets worse. They should not interfere when it gets worse. That is one thing that they are going to understand. Now, coming back to the Niger Republic, what African Union talked about in the side of terrorism, where they talked about terrorism that it will, now that is here. They said the country has a strategic significance as base for US and France helping fight Islamic militant. Okay, say White House National Security Advisor Soleimani reiterated call for Bazoum to be released and would continue to consult with ECOWAS. They are the ones with a significant stake in this and want to make sure that anything we do is closely coordinated with them. That's not what I'm looking for. I am looking for where they talked about terrorism, scattering terrorism around that ECOWAS region. Yeah. Now, I think it's from the beginning. Just one moment. There is something I want to draw out there. Now, the ECOWAS Community of West African States, the Economic Community of West African States has been trying to negotiate with junta but says it is ready to send troops into Niger to restore constitutional order if diplomatic effort fail. In a rare sign of progress on Tuesday, No, that is not the place. Johannesburg, August 22. The African Union suspended Niger from all its activities following last month's military coup there, and told its members to avoid any action that might legitimize the junta. The coup has caused alarm among Western allies and democratic Africa states who fear it could allow Islamist group active in the Sahel region. Now, this is where I am looking for. That would allow Islamist group across the Sahel region. This is this is exactly the truth. You see that military coup that is taking place in the Sahel region. This is what I told you. I said this on Sunday. I said it on Sunday. And this news came yesterday. If you listen to the broadcast I did on Sunday, talking about Sokoto Caliphate, and the reason why they decided to give Tinubu the position of leadership in Nigeria without giving it to Fulani. And I told you that the people of Sokoto, the people in the northern Nigeria, they know that Niger Republic is part of them. They know it is part of them. The plan has been to activate Abuja Declaration 1989. That is the reason why you see the coup taking place. It is all about Islamic agenda. It is all about Islamic agenda. But it is justifiable. The way they are doing it. People are suffering. People are dying of hunger and starvation. No hospital, no good road, no good school for people to attend. So is it not justifiable the way people are actually going to make their way to a better tomorrow for them? What they are saying in this paragraph, it is the truth. Islamic State want to be achieved across the Sahel region. That's where it starts. And it is going to now go over Africa. That is the plan. When you see those who were sent to negotiate with them, Abdul Salami Abubakar, a military ruler of Nigeria, a military leader of Nigeria, who was sent to go and see the junta, military junta in Niger Republic. And they reiterated, they talked about how they are families, how they were under Sokoto Caliphate before Britain decided to start sharing people and joining people, cutting and joining people. People that have like mind, they will separate them from each other. People that does not have like mind, they join them with each other. That was what they did in that sub-Saharan Africa. That is the reason why the northern Nigeria is there to control Nigeria, while the Niger Republic is part of northern Nigeria, which was under Sokoto Caliphate. Which was under Sokoto Caliphate. I said it. Now talking about the Islamic State, Islamic group being active and expansion of the Islamic State. Let us go to Abuja Declaration 1989. Let us go to Abuja Declaration 1989. Listen attentively. The Abuja Declaration is the name frequently given to the communique issued after the Islam in Africa conference held in Abuja, Nigeria between 24 and 28 November 1989. The conference was organized by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, at that time called the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Conference. And it agreed to set up the Islam in Africa organization. It is called IAO. The declaration now Listen, the declaration was to effect that Muslims should unite throughout Africa. The curricula at various educational establishments should conform to Muslim ideas. The education of women should be attended to. The teaching of Arabic should be encouraged, and Muslims should support economic relationship with Islamic areas worldwide. It noted that Muslims in Africa had been deprived of right to be governed under Sharia law, and they should strengthen their struggle to reinstate it. The Islam in Africa organization was formally established in July 1991, also in Abuja, and it has started its objective. So, have you now seen the reason why I called it double-edged sword? Had it been Fulani actually captured Nigeria recently, had it been, or if we continue in this regime of Tinubu, we know that Tinubu is not going to last there. We know that. And unfortunately, you will now see and understand the reason why he was given Muslim ticket. That's where you will understand what is the reason for that Muslim ticket. If he could not make it, the next person is they will manage Atiku. They were going to manage Atiku. But if Tinubu now, if anything happened to Tinubu, that guy that follows him is the real deal that they have placed there. It is the real deal that will fulfill this declaration of 1989. Because now, the coup you see in Niger Republic, it cannot be stopped. Whether they want it or not, even if they go to war, it will not be stopped. The northern Nigeria is going to support their own people. These their own historically. They are the same people. They are one people. You cannot change the fact that they are one people. So they will support their own people. Because the plan is to start from Sahel region of Africa to declare Islamic State. From all these areas. Because it is about conquest. This is conquest mission. But people who are there, they are seeing under democracy hell. So, what made you think that if there is any move made, they will not join? They will join because you have given them hell in the name of democracy. What have you done for the people to be actually financially independent? Or to have financial freedom? You didn't do anything. So if they are declaring this, Islamic State, the thing is that they will never control us. We will make sure that we leave Nigeria before they will declare it in Nigeria. That is the thing. We cannot stand. We are not Islam. We are Chukwu Okike Abia Mapuru Ime Ihe Niile. That is whom we are. That is whom we are. We are the son of Abraham. We are the grandsons and daughters of Abraham. We are of Jacob, the Israelite. So we cannot join Ishmaelite initiative. That's not whom we are. And that is it. And that is the reason why they decided to join us with religious fanatics. And Britain did it and did it, correctly. They did it well. They know that if we join them with these religious fanatics, those fanatics, we give them gun and police. We give them gun, bullet and gun and everything. Even give them police and army. They will be controlling these people. So that they will plunge their economic growth. They will plunge their innovation. They will plunge their destiny. So that people will not know whom they are. That is the reason why they did it. And that is the same reason why we are calling on African Union to make sure that you act now. Not when it is too late. You will say we cannot tolerate, we have zero tolerance to it. No. Act when it is still early. You can hear the cry of the people. You can. The war in Sudan, you haven't solved it. You people are going to start war in Niger Republic. For you to see these people that they are selective approach that they use. Because Niger Republic is a strategic place where the Europeans are making their own dough, making their own money. Uranium. After all, uranium is there. They have to keep their light on. They want to. The French country is the leading uranium. People. They are leading uranium market in the world. The French since when? Very many years ago, they've been leading the uranium. How do they say it? It is the French. Where are they getting this uranium? Africa. They stopped mining uranium in France. I think they have their own uranium. I don't fathom why they stopped mining it. I don't know. Or if it is finished. I didn't actually follow that information properly. We know Canada has uranium. Canada. They have uranium. So why is it that African Union will not solve the problem of Africa? War in Sudan. They haven't talked about it recently. Media is now, there is now media blackout. Nobody is now talking about war in Sudan anymore. Nobody is talking about war in Sudan. Even Ukraine war, no one is talking about it anymore. It has grown fatigue. The same way it will start in West Africa there. Nobody will talk about it. Just 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Everybody forgets. You continue to kill yourself. Who cares? The same thing that the Europeans want for you. If they bring destabilization, they will now make sure they sell their weapon to both of you who are fighting while exploiting your resources. Africa, wake up. Use your mind. Use your brain. South Africa is making a good move. That's why they are part of Brics today. And I know you will see the greatness of that country when, if they implement all these initiatives that they have actually, talked about today. The next BRICS summit is going to be in Russia. It's going to be in Russia. Russia is the next leader of the BRICS summit. If we were actually a nation, we will not hesitate to join BRICS. We are friends of BRICS because we understand their initiatives. We understand what they are doing. It is not China is actually calling on United Nations to make African countries permanent member of United Nations Security Council. China. For you to see. These people are not friends of unipolar world. But the most important thing is that whenever you are going into every organization, your policy, your foreign policy, you make sure that you stand firm. Don't allow because everything you do is business. Whether they give you funding, whether they give you money, it is business. Everybody wants to progress. Nobody wants to lose. Don't go there with your emotion. You go there for the sake of business. Strictly business. Friendship after discussion of business. We dine and wine. That's it. But we will never ever succumb to Nigeria and their activities. We are calling on Nigeria to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. We are calling on Nigeria to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He has committed no crime known to any law of any country in the world. Nigeria decided to call us terrorists. They called us terrorists, and I can understand. I will not blame them. We call them zoo, they call us terrorists. So it's just back and forth. They are zoo. That's why they called us terrorists. But the thing there is that they are behaving like people in the zoo. We are not behaving like terrorists. So that is what makes it different. Because the terrorists, the zoo we call them is not gazetted anywhere. Likewise, the terrorists they call us is not gazetted. There is nobody, nobody knows about it. Nobody, take them serious. So, it is very, very important. If African Union or any leader in Africa want to actually do something for the people of Africa, you should hear their cry before it escalates. That is the reason why you are formed. Don't wait for it to escalate, then you come in. We start issuing orders. ECOWAS start issuing orders. But when the people are crying, you didn't go and sort for solution to help them. You were there, dining with the leader. Their leader who is making them, impoverishing them, making them run away and die in Mediterranean Sea. You will be dining with them. When the things get worse, you start dishing out orders. You must be evil. Evil set of people. That's what you people are. And it is very, very important for you to know this generation is not generation to toil with. You cannot stop this generation. The only way to stop this generation is start doing the right thing. Being proactive in doing the right thing. That's the only way you can stop this generation. It is not as if we hate you people. We know what is going on. But now, we're in a situation whereby we are fighting to elevate ourselves. We are fighting to be free. You are setting us back and pushing us to become, dependent on the European hegemony. No. You become our enemy. And the day we will lay hands on you, we will devour you. That's the way it is. The day revolution will take place in Africa, this military coup is a baby. All these military coups, they are babies. They are. To the revolution that will unveil in Africa one day. And you will see it. It will be like a chess roll. This country will start, the other country follows suit, the other country joins suit. You will not know, you won't see it coming. That's the way it is. Because this generation, they understand and they have the same problem. They are facing the same challenges. Similar challenges, different countries. But our own in Nigeria is very, very actually different. It is different. The reason why it is different from others, it is because there is something about us. There is something about us. Anywhere we go, we are noticed. And that thing about us, if you don't utilize it, if you don't create room to utilize it for good, if it is utilized, it can be utilized for bad. That is the reason why we are well known in the world, for good and the bad. Because we don't have a structure that will enable us to show our talent, whom we are. We don't have it. So we want to create it ourselves. Pharaoh, let my people go. Let Biafra go. And release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu before it is too late. This is where I am going to leave it for now. Until we meet again. Stay safe. Stay informed. The only way we can win this fight It is love of your people. Love for one another. Love, love, love. But we cannot love those who are oppressing us. We love those who we are in the same struggle with. We are all in this together, African children, men and women, including Fulani. We are all in this together, but you don't know, because of your religious fanaticism. You will not understand that the only way is do your thing, let's do our thing. Then there will be harmony on both sides, from both sides. We have a relationship for trade and every other thing, but we have our sovereignty and territorial integrity. That's all we are asking for. Nothing more, nothing less. Bye-bye for now.